Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today you're joining me in making a card which is using the Dove of Hope. Beautiful stamp set with coordinating dies. You can do lovely doves, peace, joy, love, lovely sentiments. Then there's these lovely little baubles, and that's what we're working with today. We did a very simple card the other day. Now we're going to step it up a little bit and make another beautiful card, but using this little element from here. Now, to save a little time, I've already die cut those out and we're going to do the colouring on those. So those are those ones that are die cut from there. Now let me show you these dies. The dies are called, I have to turn them over to find that out, aren't I? The doves are called Detailed Dove Dies, and there is a complete set of beautiful, beautiful dies. So you have a pair of wings. I did some wings which were angel's wings. You then can put it onto the detailed dove, which is there, and obviously your wings are going to come, and you can have high wings, you can have low wings, you can have wings coming below, so you can have a dove, you can have a partridge, all sorts of things with that one. Then to coordinate with this stamp set, you have the die which goes in on this one, so you can die cut that one out. You have this to go on your mistletoe. You have this one to go on your bauble, and you have this one to go onto your, just get this one out carefully. That's why I hate the sticky sheets, but I haven't got any magnetic ones at the moment. So that one goes on there, so you can die cut all of those shapes out really easily. You then have the two pieces which will give you the tail and give solid pieces under the tail, and you've got a little sprig. So lots of dies in there. I always say that if you don't enjoy fussy cutting and you're making a lot of cards, dies are absolutely brilliant. You will always find that in most of our die sets you do get extras. So this dove with all the detail is an extra. So we're going to use this bauble today. Let me just pop these in their bag. And there's one die that I haven't included on there. So I said about the mistletoe, which is this one. So we have two dies in this die set, which is the mistletoe, which I've die cut out here. And we're going to have that one in on the top, and then there is a little row of tiny little dots which I've cut out in the brush metallics, and that is going to go in on top of there. So let me just put these ones back in here carefully, then I won't lose them. But you can see you get an awful lot of dies in there that you can use in a lot of ways. So as a bundle you get 10% off, so that's, you know, it's quite a good deal. So let's put those out of the way so we have a bit of space. I'm leaving these pieces here. Got some other ones coloured in for another project, so I'm leaving these little gold ones here to use, and we are using Just Jade. Really like Just Jade. It's one of the new in colours. So this is the die that I've just die cut out, and I can very easily just take it out like this. It is quite an intricate one, so I just need to be careful to take it out without tearing it. And then take your pick tool, absolutely invaluable for some of these. So we can keep all the pieces in, or we can take them out, and I'm going to take out the little center pieces because we don't want those, but I think I'm going to keep the actual inside of the leaf part because we can just stick that down. So you can take all of those little pieces out in the center if you want, or you can keep them in and just have it so that it just adds almost like a little embossed detail on there. So entirely how you want to do it. As I say, I think I'm going to leave them in this time. I took them out last time, or as I say, we can take them out. Let's take them out. They come out, as you can see, very easily with the take your pick tool. You just literally have to pop them out, and we've got a new die and embossing machine, which is very good. So if you haven't got a die and embossing machine and you're looking for one, the new Stampin' Up one is particularly good. It folds up, so have a look through on my, I always put details of my website down below, so you can have a look down there and you can see exactly, you can go across and have a look at the new cut and emboss machine. Okay, so these little tiny pieces, you can use them for shaker cards and things if you want, but this one we are going to just put down in on the center like that. So we can glue that down quite easily, and I am going to, let me have a look and see if I've just got my glue on the other desk. Excuse me while I reach across and grab it. Okay, so I'm going to use wet glue for this. You can use our foam adhesive sheets. You can use our double-sided sticky sheets if you want to, and just get those little pieces off that just hasn't come out. Come on, there we go. But wet glue is quite good as well, so let's just put a little bit of wet glue. I use it almost like a pen, so just turn round and run it round like a pen round the areas that you want. Turn it round. You need to make sure that your either ends are quite well stuck, because those are the bits that you need to stick down particularly well. But as I say, it's quite an easy thing to do. So we're going to put this in on the top, and we're just going to take it down so that it runs. Let's put that down, take my finger out. Okay, so we've now got this running down through on the top, which is quite pretty. Now we've got these little dotty pieces, and the putty end of the take your pick tool, which you can pop out, has, as I say, a little tiny piece of putty in there, which allows you to pick up these little pieces. Now I'm just going to have a look and see, because I'm not sure whether they are, yes, they're going to work perfectly. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little blob of glue in the center of each one of these so that it's got something for it to stick onto, and hopefully we'll see that it's die cut out the exact number. So we're just going to take this piece and just put it in on there. You can then take your other finger and just put it in. So I'm taking these pieces that I've die cut out, and they just go in on top, but they are rather pretty, and with the gold or the brushed metallic, they just add a little bit of elegance to it. So I'm hoping that it die cuts out the exact number that we want. We'll see. Another one of these. Now you can obviously have it as a wreath card, or a you know, you can put it, I think I did it earlier on, as a circular wreath card, but this is just coming back in on this way. So whoops, try to get it the right way around. Let's turn it round that way, then we can pick it up that side. But you can see the putty is really good because it does allow everything to go down quite nicely. So let's just press those ones down on their little holes. Whoops, that one's just come off. Where did it come off? In my finger. Didn't quite have enough glue on there, I don't think, or I didn't stick it down quite firmly enough. Let's just put that one down in there again. Okay, so might just take that and press it down. Okay, so I can leave that now, but you've got on there really lovely, just a little bit of sparkle in there, which I think makes all the difference. Okay, now we're going to take the baubles that we've cut off, or we've stamped and we've die cut, and we're going to colour those in. So we've got Just Jade, and we've got I'm going to use the Just Jade ink, and because I haven't got a blend in Just Jade, so you don't have to have your blends, you can use just the colour. So I'm going to take a little bit down here onto our block. You don't need a huge amount, and I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take the, let's have a look at the water painters. So we're going to have a water painter, and I just need to make sure that we get some water coming out of there. What I tend to do is to put it down in on here. Sometimes it takes a little while for the water to come through, so I tend to undo it a bit to just allow some water to flow through. Yeah, oh, come on, little one. Whoops, there we go. Right, so we've got some water coming through on there. I have to remember that it screws up the opposite way to the aqua painter. So we've got some water in on here, and then I'm just going to pick up, and we're just going to colour this bauble in. So just take a little bit in, and I'm going to do it in two colours. So we're going to have some of it in the Just Jade. So we'll have the top part and the bottom part in the Just Jade. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could emboss it in gold as well if you wanted that extra bit of gold on there, but I think it will probably just be about right. So just take a little bit of water on here, and then we're just going to add the Just Jade at the bottom. Okay, so one at the top, you can see how our inks go a very long way. You really don't need very much at all, but it's a great way of doing it if you don't have the blends. All you need is, and you don't even need the water painter, you can do it with just a paintbrush. There we are. Okay, so those three are done. Might just take this one a little bit darker. So you can add a little bit on there, as long as you don't saturate it. Now it's normal cardstock, nothing fancy. So you can just do it like that. So that's giving the same colours all the way through. And then I am going to take, let's just do that. I should clean that one off afterwards. So I'm just going to put that on there for now, because we don't need to do that. Then on the inside bit, I'm just going to take one of our, because again, showing different ways. This is just using our Stampin' Right markers, which you can get in sets. And I've used, this is crushed curry. So I'm just going to take the little piece at the top on each one of them. And then I'm going to just do the bauble part in, and I'm going to leave the bottom. So I'm just doing the top part in with the Stampin' Right markers. So again, that's another way of colouring just in on there. And then I think I might leave the other bit white. Let me have a look and see. What do we think? Yes, because that gives it sort of like a little snowy bit, doesn't it? Okay, so we need to put a sentiment. Now, what sentiments have we got in here? Have we got one that's going to be... I might actually leave the sentiment and put, may your season be filled with all the wonder and blessings of Christmas inside. Let me have a look and see. We do need some dimensionals. So I've got some dimensionals out, and I'm going to put the dimensionals in on the back of these ones. So we'll put a dimensional just in the center, just to give a little bit of height, like that. If you've got some ribbon, you could use some ribbon on there as well. And we're then going to have, one in, and I'm going to actually just put it underneath, or just right up to where that little bauble is on there. So that can go there. We're going to have another one, take that one up just a little higher, I think, and have the third one down like that. I think that's probably about right. It might be a little bit, that one needs to come about there, doesn't it? Let's put this one on first. So I want to try and get my spacing reasonably accurate between one side and the other. So I'm going to take it to about there on that one. And then we can have this one in the center. And am I going to make that higher? I think I am actually. So I'm going to take just a little piece of the top of this off so that it's not quite as long as the other one. So just do it with a little bit of a curve like that. Then we can take that piece off and we can put this one in, just in on the top in the center there, like that. So you've got your three little baubles hanging from your pine bough. Now I could have put this one on the foam sheets to make it a little higher. Doesn't really matter hugely. And I think there's probably room to put this lovely big sentiment down on the bottom, which there is, yes. So I'm going to use this, which I was going to use on the inside. I'm going to use that on the outside. Now I just need to clean this up. So if you haven't got any kitchen roll, which mine is in the kitchen, if you just take it and clean it directly onto your Simply Chamois, it will clean it beautifully as well. So you don't have to have kitchen roll if you haven't got any to hand. So we want this to come in like this. Make sure that the words are nice and straight. And then we're going to do that in the Just Jade ink. And you can do it both ways. And I'm just going to make sure that I've got it lined straight where I want it. So if that comes that way, yes, that's perfect. Okay, so I just need to make sure that it's inked quite well. And then we can put this down on here. And then I can have that in on the center like that, which I think is rather nice actually. I quite like that larger sentiment in there. So let's just clean this one up quickly, and then we'll put that onto a base of Just Jade. So we've only used one ink pad, the Just Jade, and then we used just a little bit of crushed curry. So it doesn't take a huge amount of ink if you don't have many ink pads, which again, I know that a lot of people are just starting out, and it makes a lot of sense not to have a huge amount of stuff, but if you just have a few little things. So let's put that on there, which I think looks, yes, that actually looks really rather beautiful. And then again, I would probably just take a little bit of Wink of Stella, which is still down here from earlier on. And just, I'm only going to do the white part in it, because if I do the white, and you need to be a little bit careful because Wink of Stella is water soluble, and so are the inks that we've used. So you just need to be a little bit careful with it, but it will just give a beautiful little bit of sparkle just in on the bottom. And as I say, I know it's very difficult. Wink of Stella doesn't tend to show up very well on camera, but there is a really beautiful sparkle on that. But I think that that's a really pretty card. Put that onto a card base and you've got, again, a lovely pretty card for Christmas using the Dove of Hope, but not using the doves. So as always, thank you so much for watching me. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, please stay safe and well and be kind. Bye-bye.